Welcome to this episode of As the World Burns. So, we look at dramatically what this Nobel Peace Prize winning president has done for the world. I just wanted to remind people that he actually said before that he had traveled to all 57 states. There's 50 states in America. As far as I know, there's 50, not 57. But how you say ironically, so I'd say ironically, though I understand that there is 57 states of Islam. So we're looking more at the world burned and the world turns, and the world actually having come to a peaceful point in time. So does anybody know their Bible, like biblically what it says basically in Revelations, what they say is going to happen, how the Antichrist rises up? See, what I always thought why Obama is not the Antichrist, why he's just helping the real Antichrist come up, is because he's gonna look like magnificent and perfect to everybody. Like he can solve every single problem. He's the ultimate dictator. He can just squash a problem. And the Bible says that he squashes all people's problems for a year. So he becomes the world leader. He basically leads a peace movement and tells everybody what they want to hear and fixes the world, the economies and everything, does the one world order perfectly. So it all comes together like that. And then he will rule with the iron fist from then on. But so I don't believe unless you can interpret people actually believing what Obama is doing and saying enough. And I'm not convinced that he hasn't basically sunk in with his approval rating in the toilet. In my opinion, I really believe, and that's not my fault. I couldn't have said anything or done a single video on Obama to hurt Obama at all, as much as Obama would ever hurt his own self. Quite literally, when it comes down to it, Obama only hurts his own self when it comes to his approval or disapproval. So I believe that his disapproval rating is um, even extremely above where George Bush's disapproval rating would have ever been and would ever be. So so the world burns because basically like he wants to give Iran like so much power. He's already, and Israel's like, no, no. Somebody's got to do something. Somebody's got to stop Obama. Well, the Republican Congress and a federal judge struck down Obama's deal for now. From what I understand, it is a major block that is going down right now for this Iran deal, and they still want to pass it. So um, it gives Iran way too much power. And if you look at Iraq a little bit, you back up just a second. Somebody trying to argue, they always arguing with me, about every single thing, like a liberal. But they want to argue with me about what does that have to do with now? And actually, you can see the same things. They're both extremists. They both basically pay, sponsor. They're not terrorist organizations. They sponsor terrorism and terrorist activity. So they pay these extremists. What Saddam was doing was he was paying um, people's families, uh, to help them out, help them come up a little bit out there in the Muslim world or in the Arab world, Arab community, should I say. Pay back then when we invaded Iraq, they were saying that he was paying somewhere around the neighborhood of $25,000. It just depended on the family and the situation for their their child, their oldest child, I believe, son. I mean, and they use women too to blow themselves up on Israeli people, or just become a terrorist. So that's what they said Saddam Hussein was doing. So um, I believe that Obama is trying to block a way from for us to be able to go into Iran, which they're bent on destroying America. So I don't understand how anybody could support Obama in doing that, and Obama not actually, even though I think he's pretty weak as far as his policies and him helping America, actually helping America, doing the right thing by America. Um, he's weak because um, he wants to basically um, make it almost impossible for us to be able to go and squash a bug like the powers in Iran, the leadership and the government there. So, in my opinion, I think Obama is getting out of. Actually, what I think he should do is put his foot up Iran's ass, up their butt. Serious, literally. Um, and that's what I was hoping was going to happen from the Afghanistan um, uh, war that we had there and the Iraqi war. I was hoping that it was going to lead to the next president or a president eventually invading Iran and squashing them and basically putting them all on trial. I want to know all of the details of what these people have been up to and their complete activities. The government of Iran, the government's people that are in the government there, because I know that there's war crimes, crimes against humanity, and other things like that. And there is also a Marine and Americans in Iran's prison. There's a Marine there. They said that I believe that they think he's a spy, but we're not seeing him being freed. So Obama is completely um, a left wing. It has nothing to do with his skin color, tone, or anything like that. It's the it's the left wing practice of this ideology. It's idiocracy 101. What he's doing. So um, I recall one of the I even said it on a video here. One of the more disturbing things that I ever seen Obama do as president was he basically sat by and allowed Iran's government to to bully people. I believe it was in 2010 when they were having a revolution there. So Obama wants to say he's a revolutionist or something like that. He's a bad person. He really is. He's like he creeped his way into a power role uh, into America. Americans, granted him the highest honor position, and he's basically truly got a dictatorship mind. He doesn't have a free will, free the people mind. He's bent for some reason and he won't, and he's too shallow to um set people free here in America, and he was real chicken, I would say chicken poop, um, by not invading Iran at that time and basically helping. What would the Republicans have done if a Republican were in power? See, that's the true propaganda right there. The the terrorists know when we get a liberal in there, a Republican in there, and there is a big difference. They would not have had that happen, but it came down to their elections. So, and they had a strong majority splitting their country up too. So, all I can say is if a Republican was in there, you might have actually have had us go ahead and go and invade Iran and basically take them out real quick too. I don't know how much you want to go ahead and and hold restrain Israel, and because it really comes down to them being closer and them actually being the number one target for Iran, if they came up with the nuclear bomb, because that's what we're talking about. Iran doing now that is the same as what Saddam was doing back then is they hire or they sponsor the terrorists like Hezbollah and these other radical fundamentalists over there that sit there and bomb Israel daily. So it's a complete religious war, religious thing. People can say whatever they want to at this point about that, about the Palestinian and Israeli thing. But really, what it is it's good versus evil, and it's religious. And the Islamic extremists believe that their religion is right, but obviously we know that evil stands for being able to do horrific acts like on 9/11. So obviously they are behind the evil, sinister side of things, and everything that we do, we are basically responding uh, from the good side of things. People, oh. So we're looking at police state here in America. There's I'd say more and more police brutalities going on taking place. There's more intrusions of people's private property and their rights. People, I would say it has to go a long way with people's knowledge or ignorances to the law in particular. So that has one part of what's going on out there. But as you see, have you seen the black woman who was, I believe it was inside setup, whatever the conspiracy is on, that she was killed by the cops? I believe she was killed by somebody, and obviously the authorities did not stop it. And whenever she was stopped, I seen the video. Um, she was overboard harassed, and obviously the policeman was obligated to legally let her go. If I was a cop, honestly, and somebody got all that irate with me, I'd be like, "Yes, ma'am. All right, ma'am. I'm just doing my job," and I would let her go. I honestly would figure out a way to tell her, "All right, calm down. I'm letting you go. I'll see you later." But I don't know that I would have pulled her over, and if that's what this particular place wants is for police to pull black people over. They want to not allow black people in their community or something. I have no idea what that is all about. All I know is I don't believe that if I was a cop, I would have pulled the lady over in the first place. There's a real question about that. So, um, unlawfully detained, just like what the Supreme Court did to Ken Davis recently. She's absolutely 100% right, and anybody who says she doesn't is a joke, is full of crap. That she does not have the right to refuse something like that. It is not her job to basically be forced and coerced to go against her religious right or freedom or way to think. Um, and really, I don't care how people think as long as they don't get disgusting, vile, or deranged with where they're going with it and what they think. Because I've seen some gays already, basically, um, they're these preachers or priests or different Christian people or whatever, saying like myself that we don't approve of this gay marriage thing. We want it. We want an annulment from that in our society. So they've done a couple of vile things already, and it's extreme to put, um, you know, uh, disgusting things that you can think of, to basically go and like throw your piss on people and stuff like that who just have a difference of opinion in you. And then I start to think of, how to counter react to that. If somebody ever did that to me, I would be as such an embarrassing, uh, disgusting situation that I believe I would lose it, and something extremely not good would happen to them. I would do something extremely like I want blood, like blood. I want to see their blood on the ground. Like it would make me. It would toss all my whatever conscience that's holding me back from not wanting to really kill somebody. Serious. So we have a police state. We have a police state here in America, and the world continues to burn here in America as well as abroad. So you think Obama for his policies? That's incredibly, incredibly insane of you. So Rick Perry dropped out of the race here recently. That's about all I have to say about that, except people keep attacking Donald Trump. And I really don't think that Donald Trump is that much different than all of us. He's got a lot more money than all of us, but he is typical of what American thinks like and acts like, because I remind myself I remind myself kind of in him in a little bit, just because we think a lot alike. There's enough difference where we're all like individuals, like our own thumbprint, but we're Americans and we all basically have a certain way that we think. So, and I know that these other politicians, um, the Louis, Louisiana governor spoke out against him. Other people were speaking out against him, like Ben Carson. I wanted to tell Trump one thing, um, that um, I read my Bible a lot. And if somebody would have asked me that question, the same question about the Bible that they asked you the other day, I would have been stumped, because I really like parables from the Bible, but I would have been stumped because I don't have a favorite, when you say, whatever they asked him the other day, I don't have a favorite one of those either, because I don't put enough emphasis on stuff like Proverbs, like your Proverbs. Um, However, whatever question they asked you, I would I would say I kind of decline because I really enjoy reading the Bible, but I'm more of a story from the Bible. I want a narrative because I believe that the Bible is more than just sacred. That it is like mystical kind of, but in a sense where it's it's true, and there's crazy stuff that happens in it, just like what are your imagination can basically let you run away with. Um, and I don't see why not. The world's kind of crazy as it is. So I was gonna mention um, Chris Christie said that if he was if he was president, he would nullify and he would go after um, every state that has legal medical marijuana. I just wanted to let everybody know that what I come to understand from what I learned. I was good with in politics and government in high school and college and stuff, pretty much. Um, History, I wish I would have been a little bit better in history because I would have liked to have been a history buff. But anyways, government and um, stuff like that, basically, I really had more understanding of that stuff. So, in my particular opinion, if I was the president, I would want to sit back more and I would enjoy watching states make up their own mind. And honestly, I do not have a vindictive or get even or want to nullify any state that without being pushed by the federal government or by their state supreme courts or anything like that to overrule the votes. But if a place truly votes for gay marriage to be there, I was completely for that. For I'm not saying that I really support them in any way. All I'm saying is I don't basically have a problem with that in any way either. So I don't shine on it, shun it, or cast an opinion at this point about states making up their own rules and rights and laws. Because I'm the type that I want to see how, whenever you make laws, how the laws ended up working out for people, if it benefited them, or if it basically, was jerking people's chains or not. So I look at it as a constitutionalist in that sense where I am very careful when I look at law. I don't just go and say, yeah, that's the way it goes, and we're going to do this whether you like it or not. Hell, come to hell, high water, you know? And that's basically what the Supreme Court just did here recently. With the help of Obama, it is completely political because it would not have happened if you did not have a completely liberal, fascist, dictator president, Obama, in there that appointed the these new people to the Supreme Court, justices that have spoken out publicly that they are for gay marriage and would pass it, yes. So Obama knew for a fact that by getting those two people in there in particular, that he was going to get the gay marriage passed by the Supreme Court. So you tell me what reason, other than splitting the country up or causing a bunch of chaos or stirring the pot, what other reasons would he want to do that? Do you think he really cares about gay people or cares about people at all? When there's a zillion things going on, that's what he decided to do. So, I don't understand how they believe that something like as small, insignificant as gay marriage to this country has got to be put in front of every single thing else that's going on, and let the world burn as the world burns. Burn the economy, burn the dollar to nothing, to zero. And then we're going to go after these issues that's going to totally just cause a big, huge scene, everywhere. Then you mock people's religious freedom and their rights, trying to say that we don't have a right anymore. And that's truly what the Democrats are about. They are completely evil. In my opinion, I believe they're about to, I'd say, worse than the terrorists their own selves. If they're sitting there dictating to everybody and taking all of our rights away from us. So, I got Hillary Clinton. She like what I will add though. I really want to stay away from her, but I'll say this: what there is there, that it was one of her own laws too. Her husband, I believe, made the law, something like that. What she's accused of now, and did basically, um, she um, broke a law that is basically for her, but she acts like it's for somebody else whenever it's for politicians like her in particular. So there's personal things that she had going on in her private server email thing. Why do you think she would have a private email server in the first place? And then uh, do that so that she can erase everything. So I told you people once before that Obama, John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, all those people are the last people in the world that you would want to see America's top secret information. And there they are, because of lies, because of money, and a bunch of bullshit talk got this guy elected. You know, calling George Bush basically unpatriotic for spending $4 trillion, and here it is. This guy has got us about 5 times that. He's wasted more money than all of the presidents combined. So I'm looking at Chris Christie. He's going against states' rights. If he was president, so he's a rhino. We're calling him out. If you become president or you go to the federal government and you think it's your job to push and bully states around and create your own laws and say and justify the ends with the means in your own mind, it is completely your own sinister villain act, not other people's. So people will remember that even after the fact that we repeal all that stuff. I believe we should repeal every single thing of Obama. We tell people, well, we're going to get the health care really straight. We can't be can't nationalize everything. We have to allow people in states to make up their own minds. We can't push that one way or another like that. It's completely abusive and unconstitutional. So, what is the answer for these jerks like Chris Christie who have a problem with medical marijuana? It's medication for some people. Let people relax and live their lives, you know, pain free or whatever it does to basically isolate um, health issues with people, and it's proven fact. But that's completely evil that somebody would want to take our rights that we've already been given away like that. So, in my opinion, I think it should all be legalized. Marijuana should be. I'm not convinced anymore about all drugs. I was before, but I seen a lot of people effed up I'm gonna say that literally. And I don't mean to swear in your face or anything bad like that. I really don't. I'm just saying that I seen harder drugs really F some people up. And it's the truth. So I was saying for a while I think all drugs should be legalized, but then I got to re-examine and see people. And I believe that it was crack in particular. I believe that the people were basically uh, showing signs of what people would look like after years of using it, or just being a straight up addict to crack. So I'm not so sure that that should be legalized, but I was always for people that are addicts like that to illegal drugs to be able to legally somehow come to doctors and be able to generate, if not already have, a type of prescription that would work for them. Go ahead and let them have it. Otherwise, they're going to go use some really harmful street drugs. Then you can really say, hey, well, we at least we tried. The person dies or something like that anyways, you can at least say, well, we did the humanly thing, as humanly possible that you could possibly do, to help treat a person for whatever their addiction is and whatever their problem is, because obviously it's because they have a personal problem issue. That's something why they do that. People don't just go into the world and be all sober, you know. Everybody does something. You know, I'm not saying that they go all off and be all to access, you know, overboard, get drunk or whatever, but everybody has their own way to relax at times. So I just wanted to say that that is completely an asinine and police state comment for Chris Christie to say, and it is very rhino-ish, in my opinion. We're the right wingers, so we're basically not just checking the left. You'll see us constantly checking our own selves in the right, also, because we have to make points about people's rights, their freedoms, and their constitutional rights. That's what it's all about. So don't let these pieces of garbage keep making it a police state. See, it's not marijuana with Obama, luckily, but it could be. It could be after, who knows? But that's what I believed. I thought I was seeing with George Bush when he was president was he stayed out of states' business more. So I don't know exactly what people expect, but they believe the hype and baloney garbage that they're told, and then it comes to the suppression of all of us. Really, that sequester us all. That's what he is. He's a sequester us all president as the world burns. Thank you.